Daf Zayin of Likkutei Torah Sefer Vayikra. This is a mimer about the splitting of the sea, both with Kriyas Yamsuf, and comparing it to the splitting of the river for Mashiach. So the splitting of the sea, sea is Malchus, which is the spiritual attribute, the sphere that connects with, that is about moving from internal to the outside to someone else. And that's where there is something that feels outside other than just being Hashem. And it's connected to speech, which is where you move from what's going on inside your mind and heart to express it to others. And that outside is separating from just being part of you. That moves from the world of Atzilus, which is close to Hashem, to the world of Bria, which is somewhat separate. It's a separate creation, and that's linked to the number 12, and that the 12 tribes, their souls were souls of Bria, not Atzilus, not the world closest to Hashem, and therefore the sea split into 12 parts for each of the 12 tribes that first time. Now, in a space, we continue with explaining what the splitting of the river is. The river represents Bina. It says that a river came out of Eden to water, to feed the garden. That's so Eden is the highest level. Then there's the river, and then there's Gan Eden. And Eden represents Chachma, which is about seeing Hashem, not just understanding Hashem with left brain, but you see the idea, and when you see, you can see it a lot deeper, and it becomes a lot more real to you than when you just understand it. And therefore, the splitting of the river is where we get beyond understanding in thought and in Bina. The second of the 10 Sefirot, which relates to understanding and developing detail, and get to Chachma, wisdom, which represents the flash of the idea, where we see the concept, and the learning with Mashiach will be, the Torah with Mashiach will be about that, about seeing the concept. So we're getting beyond Bina. Just like with Kriyas Yamsuf, the splitting of the sea, where we get beyond the Malchus, which creates separate identity away from Hashem. Now, the splitting of the river into 7 represents the Avos and Amos, the patriarchs and matriarchs of the Jewish people. They were souls of Atzilus, of the highest spiritual world, which is close to Hashem. And with the splitting of the river, their souls, their spiritual souls, jump beyond Atzilus to Keser, which is the godly light, which is beyond even Atzilus. It's beyond being in limited and defined Sefirot attributes. Now, this elevation happens through Torah. Torah is different parts. The most of Torah is about refining this world and dealing with a world of separation. Actually, the Hebrew word for separation, parade, is the 3 parts of Torah besides the inner mystical dimension, Pshat, Remez, and Drush, which are the simple, the hints, and how we expound on Torah to derive either halacha or agada. But and that's the word parade, separation, and they work on the world of separation, bringing it back to oneness with Hashem. Whereas Sod works the secrets of Torah and the mystical inner parts of Torah, which is the part that will be fully revealed with Mashiach. So that works on introducing into Atzilus from even beyond Atzilus. Okay, now Daled. Daled talks about how Rahmanas, mercy on our souls, realizing, it's separate from Hashem. We should have mercy on it, and then Hashem has mercy even on a soul which is close to Hashem, even on a soul of a tzaddik, an extremely righteous person from Atzilus, to bring that soul closer still into full oneness with Hashem. Now, through Torah helps us refine the world. In particular, Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, which just tells us how to deal with the different items of the world and how to use them in the right way. So that helps us refine the world, and therefore Torah is connected to wheat, and also the Eitz Hadas, according to one opinion, the tree of knowledge was wheat. And on Shavuos, we bring a carbon of wheat, of 2 loaves of bread, and that represents the written and oral Torah, which help us refine the world and to elevate to Aden, which is the Torah of Sod, the secrets of Torah, to where we see godliness and become one with Hashem, with Mashiach. Hey, now the pasuk which talks about splitting the river with Mashiach, it first says that that when Mashiach comes, the Sea of Egypt will be dried out, and that's because it talks about the Sea of Egypt, because the first of the 4 parts of the river that comes out of Gan Eden, separates into 4, and the first part of it is the part that goes to Egypt, and therefore gives Egypt extra wisdom. While wisdom is good, but it's still a specific quality. It's not just pure oneness with Hashem. And therefore a limitation, and that's actually why Mitzrayim comes from the word boundaries and limitations. But what we'll see when Mashiach comes is all flesh will see kipi Hashem diber, how the mouth of Hashem is speaking. That speech, although normally it's for the outside and to create something separate, we'll see how even the speech, the worlds of Bria Yetzirah Asiya, and even the physical world is really all one with Hashem, and we'll see it in a way of Aden, not just hear it and understand it, but we'll see it, and that is the splitting of the rivers when Mashiach comes.